Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails while talking about the new stuff that's released while on his work trip. So, one more day of this kind of thing. I guess you haven't really subjected you to many of these videos of this style of video, except for that weird one while I was walking, which actually ended up being somewhat popular. So we'll be doing more of that. I'm not. This isn't an attempt to recreate that though. I just literally have my phone, and we got to talk about some of these changes. And we're not going to read the kit because we don't all need to spend 30 minutes together while I drone on about the kit. It looks good, and we have 3 months, guys. We have 3 months before we can before even some people can access it. Like, how many people are going to get it? Like 30% fewer? Well, I mean, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to know if you think you're going to get Malgus. We don't even know what the conquest feats are and stuff. I would assume that it'd be about the same difficulty level as it's been, but yeah, he's a GAC character, which implies that the Grand Inquisitor, who all the other Inquisitors have had their Omicrons be for territory wars. I mean, I think the Inquisitor is going to end up being he's going to require he's going to have three Omicrons for territory wars, and if you don't care about that game mode, then you're kind of free. And I hope though, because he's in a way that these two characters are going to be like yin and yang. Like one of them is going to be good in territory wars, the other one's going to be good in GAC, and I think Malgus is going to be really awesome in GAC. I mean, I don't think that's debatable at this point. He's ludicrous. Actually, he's just so crazy. We don't know what his final stats are, so maybe his base speed is like 10 or something like that, you know. But even then, he's going to be really good, and he's not going to be base speed 10. He'll be he can't be super fast, can he? I don't know. Anyways, the Grand Inquisitor though is probably going to be a similar strength, and whereas he's not going to be super overpowered in GAC, I think he's still going to end up being very relevant. And so there's that. I think the most interesting thing of all of these updates, actually, guys, is well, man, there's so much stuff, but yeah, we'll try to cover it. We're just going off of my memory here, though, which is spotty in the best of times. So, otherwise, what the most interesting thing though that I noticed was they said for Darth Malgus that he's heralding the the return of Sith Empire. Does that mean? I wonder. It's interesting word choice. Like, does that just mean that they're going to start being super duper relevant again? Because they're still pretty relevant in like in all the different game modes. They're pretty. Sith Empire is pretty good. I mean, that they're not what they used to be, and if that's what they mean, like he's going to bring them to prominence, then yes, that I think that that's accurate enough. I guess the thing that I wonder more even than that is like like are we gonna get more Sith Empire at the end of the day? I guess that's what I question. Like, and is this just them trying to free up Malak so that we can use him on random comps to shut down Starkiller? I mean, that's also a question I have, but I don't know, guys. I think that he's going to be really good in both game modes, and in I mean, he's just gonna be good. I wonder if we're gonna get more Sith Empire though. Or like we're gonna get like more generic stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I don't know. I don't really care. Frankly I didn't want this character. I don't care that like it's fine we got him, but he's just I don't know. He looks like an insect. He's like an evil insect. With red eyes and his mask and cracked skin. Whatever. All right, let's stop talking about him. Let's talk about 3v3. They updated some stuff and it looks cool. Like so, first off, Tuscan. Tusken Raider has so we have more incentive to get Lord Vader now with earlier accounts because Tusken Raider you have to have him Relic 5 to get Lord Vader, and now if you do that, I mean then you still have to gear up. Er, 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 er. Did I say enough times? Let me say it like 5 more times. Just kidding. Um, and Shaman, you have to gear them up. But if you do that in 3v3, it's still gonna. I mean, seems like an okay Omicron, especially early game. You get to summon a guy. I don't know. It looks okay. It looks fine. It looks better for early game than early and mid game than late game. But who knows? I would love to get him. Here's one thing to keep in mind though, folks. So people are saying like, oh man, you only get to use it in 3v3. It's not worth it, and I understand that thought. However, think of it in terms of if they flip flop 3v3 versus 5v5 like they have been, then you get to use him in 4 matches every 2 months. Sorry, 12 matches every 2 months, as opposed to in territory wars, which territory wars are obviously important, but you still only get to use a territory war Omicron 8 times every 2 months. So the Tuscans, you'll get to use him more often than the territory war, anyways. So I don't know, bang for your buck. It seems okay. It seems kind of strange because once you get to a certain point in your roster development, like uh, I have 9.5, 9.6 million GP, something like that, and I don't even have all my Tuscans geared. I think I randomly got to gear 12 a while ago for no reason at all, just because I had extra materials. I know it's a ruinous approach to things, but um, early game, why would you be gearing Tuscans? There's no reason to, other than for maybe getting Lord Vader early, which I mean he's so ridiculously priced. I don't know how early game players can get him, frankly, or I don't know if they should. They can get him. I just shouldn't you just go get 2 other Galactic Legends instead? But you're more incentivized to do that. So it seems okay. Like, but once you get to the point where you're gearing all of the Tuscans, then you probably don't need that squad anymore, especially for 3v3, where, I mean, I think my buddy Solo Base said he made 37 teams with a roster about my size, and they're all good teams. And we can't even use them. We can use like 30 at most. So, I don't know. It's just a weird thing to have an Omicron for. I think it's worth it if you just randomly have your Tuscans geared up and you're at mid game or lower, I guess do it. But I don't know why you would have it mid game. You've been making some weird choices if you have. So, no judgment, obviously, and maybe makes it worth it. But I don't know. For just the Omicron, it doesn't seem like it's worth gearing 3 pretty fringe characters that you can only use 8 times every 2 months. So, and I guess math wise, it's not because you have breaks in between GAC. I guess it's more like 8 times every 10 weeks or something like that. So, not I don't want to be disingenuous. So, anyways, there's that. And then they updated Star Killer, and they updated Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon for both of them for 3v3. Star Killer looks pretty promising. I think he's going to be ridiculous in 3v3 actually, because his unique is going to be the same now, and you can use him with. I don't know. Well, I will be very interested to see because people are going to want to use EP Mara somewhere else, but he also boosts Mara's speed by 70 speed. It's gonna be crazy. So you can use whatever team comp you want basically with Star Killer. But then Moff Gideon's is also very interesting. I mean, it looks like early on, at least in theory, because we can't practice it, we can't actually try it. It looks like maybe that's gonna be a counter in 3v3 to the overpowered nature of Qui-Gon and Anakin in threes. So I don't know. It looks very promising. I'll apply that Zeta here pretty soon, and we'll see. So videos to look forward to from me. I'm gonna be doing a collaboration with Endall here pretty soon. and I'll be all we'll do, defensive and offensive comps for 3v3, just prepping everyone for that. That'll come out in the off week probably. I'm going to be doing a 3v3 Omicron rating or ranking video just so that we can kind of evaluate some of these things, including the Krennic Omicron, which looks very intriguing. So there's going to be that. I'm going to be putting out uh, all my GAC stuff. Obviously, I'm kind of behind in all my alt videos, so we'll get those out. And yeah, there's a lot coming, guys. I'm excited to talk about 3v3. I'm gonna talk about one other thing I'm gonna talk about is trying to get like the off meta counters for 3v3 that we already know about. Obviously, there's gonna be new ones that I don't know about, but dynamics change, things change, and I want to show you guys. I mean, off meta isn't great in 3v3, but for those of us who have smaller accounts like my alts, we're gonna have to do some crazy stuff, and I mean, it works. It does work. So just have to change our approach, and yeah. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for letting me ramble for 11 minutes. Hope you have a great day. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth makes videos even while he's on work trips. Catch you later, guys.